Good morning, Self-Fam. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessica. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's more like tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years and on how to deal with our kids. We have 3 children, in case you didn't know. My oldest is diagnosed with ADHD, the combined type, and our 2 little ones were diagnosed with autism. My middle child was diagnosed on level 3, and our daughter, which is the youngest one, was diagnosed on level 2. So they are all really similar, but they are all so different as well in every aspect that we could think of. So it was very hard for us to strip away with one routine or one discipline to be able to go by all 3 of them, if that makes sense. What would work with one of our children wouldn't work with the other 2, or it would stop working within a matter of weeks or months that we started doing that, even days at a time. So it was super difficult for us to figure out a way how to discipline them, how to encourage them, and how to get them to learn and just be happy. Like, it was very difficult for us to manage a routine for all 3 of them, let alone them being on the spectrum. It was so super hard to find that ground piece. So with my oldest, Fernando, he has ADHD, of course, and it's the combined, so he's very hyperactive, and he's also inattentive, which means he cannot sit still, but he cannot pay attention. There's a lot of things that go along with it, but those are like the main ones. You cannot pay attention, and you're very hyperactive. So there's been a lot of challenges with him. It's school-wise and at home as well. This is a recent, ¿cómo se dice? Tip or strategy that I've been doing, and it has been working really well for the short amount of time that I've been trying it. It's only happening for, this is the 5th day, and I decided to do, don't mind my ugly writing, by the way. It's a goal for the day. So I pick a goal that I choose to do that day, and I leave it in a place where through the day I'm constantly passing, and it catches my eye, and it kind of reminds me and triggers me to be like, oh, okay, this is what I was supposed to be focusing on today. And it helps me remind me through the day, and it makes it more be put in como ponerlo en uso, because I'm seeing it, so I'm doing it. Not just like I think like, oh, today I'm gonna do this, and then it kind of disappears from my mind, and then in the nighttime I'm like, oh my god, like the goal that I had today and never came through. So something that helped me was to write it down, like physically write it down, and then aparte de eso, put it somewhere where I can see it, so it's gonna remind me to do it, not just write it down, put it in my notebook, and then ponerlo en un cajón, and then ya se me olvida and I don't do it. No, like I had to set it out, and out in visual where everybody could see. I don't care, as long as I'm seeing it and it's reminding me to do it. That's been helping a lot. And it could be anything that you want. For me, it's very hard for me to be emotional with my kids, as in like showing them affection. I kind of feel like I feed them, I clean for them, like I cook their meals or whatever, I wash their clothes, things like that. That was me parenting. But as in spending time with them, like playing with them with their toys, talking to them, giving them hugs, it's kind of very hard for me to do that type of affection. And this has been really helping me get past that. I don't even know what it is. It's just like a wall that my freaking body put up, and it's hard for me to be affectionate with my kids. Like, I know I cannot be the only mom that does this, especially if you're at home with your kids, you don't work, like, well, that is a job, taking care of your kids, but I mean, like, being outside with society, you're just at home 24 hours a day, 7 days out of the week with your kids. it triggers you to kind of get offensive in a way where you kind of just want to feed them so they can stop their whining, or bathe them so they can go to sleep, or you know what I mean, like kind of déjame en paz, you know, doing things for them and leave me alone basically. But this has helped me go back to that, you know, spending time with them individually and then all together, so they as siblings can learn how to bond as well. Another trick or another strategy that we've been working on is my son goes to the behavioral health. So there they gave me a case manager, which she comes to my house one day out of the week, and we're doing a program, and it's a 12 lesson program, so she will be coming to my house for 12 weeks. At first I was kind of like, ooh. But then as we continued to do the work on the program, I seen how like it was helping me. It was kind of, and I was very close. I was kind of like choosing what information I wanted to share with her, and then not telling her like how my real feelings were. But this managed to like help us a lot in us. This is a book that we read, by the way. It has helped us a lot to understand Fernando, to help us see that he's not getting mad for no reason, you know, like there's something triggering it, and us as parents have to figure out what's bothering him or what kind of made him feel the way he was feeling. It talks a lot about how you should communicate, how you're an example to your kids. The way you respond to a situation or to your feelings, they're gonna do the same thing. And just to understand that they are different, but it's okay. Like they don't have to be like robots for society to accept them. And if they don't, then you as a parent should accept them no matter what. You know, like it's hard. It's like being on the spotlight all the time as well. But at the same time, I wouldn't change him. Getting to know him all over again, it's like I just had a baby. Like I'm getting to know my son. I'm getting to understand his emotions, how he acts. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Like he's very outspoken. Like there's a lot of characteristics that I see in him that I wish I had, but I was just so antisocial that I couldn't, you know, be the way he is. And he's making me open up and be more like friendly, I guess. So it has helped us a lot to see, you know, recognize his strengths and also his disadvantages, and just being able to bond with him better. He's 11 years old now, so it took us a while, but we're getting there. And then for my son, Damien, which is my child that got diagnosed with autism level 3, which means like he's on the severe side of autism or the spectrum. With him, it's also been a roller coaster, only because he's nonverbal. He talks, like he knows how to talk. He knows his numbers, he knows his colors, he knows his letters. He just chooses not to talk, which makes it that much more harder, because he chooses aggression, he chooses crying, he chooses kind of bossing around as a form of communication, which kind of sucks, because if we're like laying down and it comes and he smacks us and we're like, hey, what the heck? And he's doing it like, hey mom, I need your help. You know, like it's a very wide spread of communication for us to understand him, and for him to be like more specific on his wants and needs. And that's why we chose to go with ABA therapy for him, which has been helping, and which has been a roller coaster ride as well, because with kids with autism who don't talk, it's very hard to understand if they're connecting with the teacher good, if the programs are making them uncomfortable, if a certain smell or sound is triggering him, you know, to act a certain way. It is very difficult to kind of just be playing that guessing game. So other than ABA, we did, he is placed in a special needs classroom. So all his little classmates are autistic as well. There are 10 students, I believe, to a ratio of 4 teachers in the class, which I feel super comfortable because I know that Damien has, if not the teacher, aide right next to him the whole time that he's in class. Also, we cut his school day in half because he was getting super frustrated going 6 hours to school and then coming to doing another 2 hours for ABA. It was making him very frustrated, making him super unhappy and uncomfortable, which we were feeling the same way. And so we managed to cut his day in half. So he's going for 3 hours instead of 6, and then he has the separation from when he gets out of school to when ABA starts. He has a little break, and that's been helping a lot. We also had to change one of his ABA therapists because he was just not connecting with her, I feel like, on a level that a child should in order to see a progress. And my son is very sensitive to sound. Unfortunately, her voice was triggering a lot of his behavior. So once we changed the person that was working with him, we noticed a super big change in him. He's using his words a lot more often. He's not as aggressive as he used to be. He's talking more. He seems very happy now. Like, obviously, he's a very smart kid, so he knows that up to now he's gotten along this far without talking. He's still being able to get what he wants or whatever. But he's still at a point where he's happy with himself to be more communicative, pues hablando, you know what I mean? But yeah, those are some things that we've been working on with Damien, along with using pet cards here at the house, kind of forcing him to talk and be like, what do you need, Damien? Not just because we know what he wants, we're going to give it to him. We kind of make him work for it now. Okay, and for Aaliyah, which is my youngest, and has the autism diagnosed on level 2, which is like moderate but not too severe. For her, she's also in an autistic-based preschool. She's going for 3 hours a day, and so as I was saying, I'm vlogging through my phone right now, so any messages or phone calls, I'm gonna have to keep pausing the video. But anyways, she is in an autistic-based preschool, so they're teaching her like manners. They're teaching her how to sit on the table while she's eating. They're teaching her to share. They're teaching her how to play outside properly and with other students. So that's been working really good for her. She's actually going to the same preschool that Damien used to go to. And then she's also doing ABA at home for another 2 hours. And it's been working like so good with her. I think she did mimic a lot of Damien's comportamientos, you know, like his behavior, his little like stimming, his temper tantrums, the way he plays, you know, things like that. She mimicked a lot of it, but I do believe that that was in her as well. Like the things that she was doing when Damien was her age, he was doing those same things as well. So I don't think it was too much where she was mimicking. It was just she was falling into that stage, and it kind of seemed as if she was just, you know, mimicking Damien of what he was doing, which did play a role. But like I said, it was in her time period to be developing can you please talk? Developing those, you know, stimming behaviors, those temper tantrum behaviors, those repetitive behaviors, you know. Except that she's the youngest child, so she kind of falls in the shoes of the other ones, which is kind of sad because it's kind of like she's not her own person in a way. But she's talking in sentences now. She's they're potty training her within a week. I want to say she started using the restroom, telling me, you know, through the day, I have to go potty, I have to go potty. It did take her a little bit longer to do number 2, but it's because she's very shy and timid, and she gets embarrassed easily. So I think that was a big part that played into her not wanting to use number 2 in the restroom, but she's already going. She does not wear a pamper at the house all day anymore. Only when she goes to bed, I slip a pamper back on just in case if she gets cold or if she doesn't make it to the restroom or whatever the reason. At least she won't go on the bed. And they're also doing the underwear at school, so they're potty training her over there, and then ABA still does it here when they're gone, and then I still continue it as the day goes. So that's been helping a lot with her. Okay, so yeah, just understanding and listening to them helps a lot too, for them to want to open up and be able to use their communication skills, you know, vocally or however they want to express it. And then for my oldest, which, you know, he's a little bit older now, just letting him know that I understand his feelings. I understand, I've been through it, you know, like just showing him that he's not an outcast, or people are going to talk regardless, but that you're always going to be there. That helps a lot. And yeah, so these are some of the little tips and tricks that I've learned along the years as to how to understand my children and deal with their diagnosis, and, you know, implementing a lot of reinforcers or just techniques to help them better themselves and to feel better, you know, as a person. Because even though they're little kids, they still feel the same, you know, feelings that we do, rejected or neglected or ignored, you know, they feel all of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna end it now, and don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Go follow me on my social media accounts, and I made a new TikTok today. Let's see if I put it in this video. If not, go check it out. Bye.
Oye, amor, deberíamos ir juntos al gimnasio.
O sea, me estás diciendo gorda.
Yo nunca dije eso.
Entonces me estás diciendo mentirosa.
Oye, amor, cálmate.
O sea, aparte me estás diciendo histérica.
Mira, ¿sabes qué? Si no quieres ir, no vayas.
¿Y tú por qué quieres ir solo? ¿A quién